Hey everyone, do you remember those old Choose Your Own Adventure books? You know the drill. If you decide to go left, turn to page 54. Or if you decide to go right, turn to page 82. They were cool, but let's be honest, they were a bit clunky. Now imagine that concept, but replace the static pages with high fidelity, stunning animation, and visuals. Replace the clunky page turning with immediate, AI-driven, narrative shifting reactions. You're witnessing a storytelling paradigm shift. This is the choice revolution. But welcome back. Today we're talking about interactive anime. It's a term you've probably heard down the road, but we're standing on the precipice of something grander than a simple A or B decision. But let's look at where we started. The evolution was rapid, beginning with early visual novels, which were essentially digital choose-your-own books, moving into full motion video experiments, and finally modern streaming trials. But those early paths were defined. They were static. Today, we are defining a new frontier. It's more than just branching paths. We're talking about emergent narratives. We're talking about dynamic worlds where your decisions don't just change which of the three endings you see. They change who the character is, and who they trust, and how the entire world perceives them. Consequences are no longer pre-written. They're player-driven, immediate, and often irreversible. Is this a novelty, or are we seeing the fundamental language of anime storytelling being rewritten? Let's find out. So how does this actually work? To understand the choice revolution, we have to look at the tools. We're moving beyond pre-written scripts into story engines. In the traditional model, you have static pre-rendered paths. If you choose choice A, the developer has rendered one specific 5-minute scene. Choice B renders a completely different, equally specific 5-minute scene. It's cool, but it's limiting for the developer and eventually for the player. The new frontier explores adaptive narratives and AI-driven branching. Imagine an AI model that understands the core character traits, the world lore, and the primary goal. It doesn't choose a pre-written path. It generates the narrative based on your input, respecting the established parameters. It means every playthrough is genuinely organic and unique. This redefines player agency. Agency is no longer just picking dialogue. It's influencing character traits, relationships, and even world states. If you consistently choose aggressive dialogue, your character might organically become more aggressive, changing their idle animations, their vocal tone, and how other NPCs interact with them, even if those other NPCs are also AI-driven. Finally, we have the visual and auditory feedback loops. This is crucial. In standard anime, a character's reaction is pre-dawned. In high-level interactive experiences, immediate, subtle in-game reactions, a character's twitch, the sound of their breath catching, the shift in dynamic lighting based on your character's mood are essential. These loops enhance the feeling of control and presence. When the world reacts immediately to your breath, you know you're truly in it. And that's what's amazing about this. Now, this all sounds wonderful in theory, but theory doesn't get funded or downloaded. We need proof. Let's look at some notable examples. First, let's highlight recent successes. Highly praised streaming experiences like generic-sounding Tales of the Endless Sea, which showed how this could work on a massive communal scale. Tens of thousands of players simultaneously voted on decisions, not only changing the episodic plot of high-fidelity anime series, but subtly affecting character relationships and world lore across a persistent digital universe. The sheer shared consequence of it created a community engagement impossible in traditional anime. You also have innovative indie visual novels that are pushing the boundary. By utilizing simplified art styles combined with deep, complex branching algorithms and some experimental text input AI, these indies are offering deep, personal, emergent narratives that massive studios still find too risky to attempt. These successes analyze unique storytelling opportunities. Some narratives, stories about memory loss, identity crisis, philosophical morality, or complex political simulations, are almost impossible to tell effectively in traditional linear anime. The interactive mechanic is the story. However, we also have to learn from the missteps. What have developers learned from choices that felt superficial or frustrating? Early experiments often fell into the illusion of choice trap. This is where you give the player two choices. Choice A, save the child, or choice B, save the child sarcastically. The outcome is identical and the players will notice. It feels cheap, and it actively breaks immersion. Superficial or quick-time event style choices often feel like the most frustrating minigames than meaningful narrative engagement. Superficial or quick-time event style choices often felt more like frustrating minigames than meaningful narrative engagement. Consequences must be real, or the mechanic is pointless. This is the heart of the choice revolution. We need to talk about agency and empathy. When you watch a standard linear anime, your empathy is based on witnessing. You see Naruto fail, and you feel for him. You see Luffy's determination, and you understand him. When you watch interactive anime, your empathy is based on doing. Let's explore this tension. Deepening character connection. When you make decisions for a character, are you understanding them better, or are you becoming them? This is a powerful question. If you make a tragic, painful, wrong choice that leads to the death of a loved one, your relationship with that character changes fundamentally because you were the architect of that tragedy. This leads directly into moral and ethical dilemmas and consequences. Traditional anime often features ethical conflicts, but the hero's decision is set. Interactive anime forces players to confront these difficult ethical choices. You can't just sit back and judge, you have to commit, and you have to live with the outcome. This creates a more immediate, visceral ethical bond. A bad ending in a normal anime is sad. A bad ending in an interactive anime is a failure. And finally, there's the tension of replayability versus definitive experience. Fans love exploring all paths, clearing that stat screen. But does this fatiguing desire for a canon route dilute the emotional power of that singular player-driven journey? There's a beauty in definitive linear experience, which is perhaps lost when every consequence is just one of 8 saved variables. So where's all this heading? We're entering uncharted territory. The big, obvious step is AI-powered storytelling. We're on the verge of truly generative narratives. We're talking about systems where every playthrough is genuinely, fundamentally unique, not just in its branching paths, but in every dialogue, character motivation, and world events generated by a sophisticated, localized narrative AI that understands the established constraints, but is free to improvise within each one of those outcomes. We're also looking at cross-platform integration. This interactivity won't stop at your PC or TV screen. VR experiences, neural interfaces, and even mobile apps that allow you to talk to characters in real time using refined chatbots are spilling interactivity beyond traditional screens, integrating the isekai dream directly into your reality. This creates significant creator challenges and opportunities. What does this mean for writers, animators, and directors? Writing one script is demanding. Writing a sophisticated, data-rich, recursive dynamic story structure is a monumental challenge. Directors can no longer just direct a scene. They have to direct a system of potential scenes. Animators need to create recursive libraries of subtle emotional reactions that can be dynamically assembled on the fly. The exciting, demanding new skills required, part narrative, part system design, part AI prompts, will fundamentally change what it means to be an anime creator. The old Choose Your Own Adventure books were cute, but they were limited by the pages. Interactive anime is unlimited by technology. The choice revolution isn't just a gimmick. It's a fundamental new language for storytelling. It's the promise of truly personal escapism. The possibility that your anime experience isn't just something you watched, it's something you live. It won't replace traditional linear anime. Sometimes you just want to sit back and witness a genius creator's singular, perfect vision. But interactive anime is opening a vibrant, new frontier that allows for narratives impossible to tell otherwise. What do you think? Is interactive anime the future of the medium? Or do you think it's just an illusion? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and let me know your favorite interactive example in the comments as well. If you enjoyed this Choice Revolution deep dive, hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll be exploring the heart of anime storytelling as well as gaming storytelling and how these two mediums intertwine and connect with each other in different ways. And you definitely don't want to miss which world we're jumping into next. And I'll be seeing you on the next step of our journey. Take care.